Hello friends, James Stephenson back with another episode of Who's Hating Hard on Tesla Today? It's somebody who was hating hard on the Tesla community 6 to 8 months ago when I made my last video about him. I thought I would never make another one, but recent events have conspired to convince me that it's worth making another video. Who's hating hard on Tesla today? Once again, it's Mark Henry, who goes on Twitter, or now X, under the ZeroSumGame33 handle. Right, Loki? I think I got that handle right. He blocks me. We blocked each other after disagreeing. So what did this guy do? Well, he showed up on the scene toward the end of last year, November or December of 2022, with wild claims about how much Tesla's energy division gross margins were going to be in 2023. He said it was going to be over 70% gross margin, and that Tesla Energy was going to contribute more than $3 to earnings. You don't have to split adjust that number. It was $3 worth of earnings. Mark Henry claimed that Tesla Energy alone would add to Tesla's earnings this year, and that it would grow from there as the Megapack business really took off, with huge deliveries of Megapack forecasted by him at very high weekly production output rates and very high revenue and just crazy high profitability metrics. Well, he sold off all of his Tesla shares. I don't have any visuals for these, so you get Loki here. As I just recap very quickly the situation, I have a whole playlist on these if you want to go back and watch the videos where I do have screenshots of him saying stuff to show you before he blocked me. But yeah, just lots of wild claims, and my message to the Tesla community at the time was lower your expectations for Tesla Energy. I believe in it too, long term, but I don't believe it'll come anywhere close to these claims that quickly, right? So I wasn't the only person who had bad run-ins with him in the Tesla community. He blocked hundreds of people for questioning him, asking him where he got his numbers, asking him to defend his analysis, those sorts of things. And then he sold off all of his Tesla stock in maybe March of 2023, something like that, and switched over to pumping a different stock. And when I say pumping, I mean this guy was tweeting hundreds of times per week about Tesla, and then he switched over and doing Twitter Spaces and stuff. And then he switched over to tweeting hundreds of times per week about a different ticker symbol that I don't even want to articulate because it's just so far outside my own field of expertise. But I did bring up the chart so you can see how this stock did from the time Mark Henry started pumping it, a small cap stock here. This is small money in this stock. A money-losing company, I think, where the whole deal was, are they going to get a loan from the Department of Energy? Now, I didn't wade deep into this business. If you want to go down a rabbit hole of researching everything that's been said on X about this company, be my guest. I only found a few exhibits that I thought were worth including in this video. So I'm going to try to click in here and hit the page down button so you can kind of see the stock peaked in July after a huge run up from March and from April all the way up here, and it's just been falling ever since from about $5 here down to way less than $1.50. So this is, you know, the same $1.20 or $1.18 that it was at the beginning of the year for this very small company, right? And they may get delisted if they don't do a reverse stock split so they can stay on the exchange. If this downward trend continues, you're not allowed to stay listed on stock markets if your stock falls way below $1. But that's easily enough remedied. You do the reverse stock split, and that'll fix it. But let me hit the Control Page Down button. There we go. just so I can find you a screenshot from the guy who blocked me, because at Dauber519 tweeted it asking on November 13th, so just a few days ago, are you saying this company never got this resolved? And ZeroSumGame33, there's a screenshot here from March 30th. Now, I've also heard that ZeroSumGame33 has deleted all of their tweets going back a long time. I don't have a way of independently verifying that because they block me. Saying he spoke with the new CFO a few weeks ago, and his latest update was EOS was determining pari passu status with their term loan holder, Atlas, and the DOE, the Department of Energy, to determine who is first lien holder in the capital stack. They are very, very close to a term sheet with DOE, meaning an agreement to borrow money from the U.S. government's Department of Energy. Let's go down one more, and I'll show you this thread written by Ryan McKinnon, who I don't know, at RYQUANT, that I found helpful for the purposes of making this video. I'll just read it to you. Zero Alpha Game, a story of someone who appears to have played the script of The Wolf of Wall Street. Build confidence with people on blue chip stocks, Berkshire, Tesla, a great blend, and then move to small, unprofitable companies that nobody has ever heard of. Minus 72%. With a screenshot here from ZeroSumGame33. I don't know what these ATMs are about here, but here he is, cash tagging that ticker as he did hundreds of times. This time saying, whenever this gets announced, the stock is going to surge. Wondering when this 800 megawatt hour, $200 to $250 million deal gets announced. That's a big deal for a small company. He was right about that not being a $5 stock. It's a $1.50 stock, or maybe a $1.20 stock. Down 72%. That's Tesla's entire drawdown in only a few months. Watch out for these guys who are directly giving advice about what others should and shouldn't do. What do you hear me say and a lot of other people? Not financial advice, do your own research, for entertainment purposes only, etc. What do you hear Mark Henry saying? Not that. Do not give them a lifeline. So tribalistic is the description by Ryan McKinnon of this screenshot. The shorts are trapped. Do not give them a lifeline. This is not a $5 stock. NFA/DYOR. Okay, I lied. He did put it here as an acronym. Notice how this guy is trying to compare relative performance of two things with two different y-axes. On what planet does that make sense? It doesn't show difference in magnitude of price movements. It's either percent change for both, or do one or the other. Just chart crimes to back up whatever point he was trying to make about comparing against Tesla. Never runs out of other people to blame, takes zero accountability. Zero accountability, Game 33. No complaints about management when the stock was $5. What a remarkable collapse. The market doesn't care how smart you think you are. And the screenshot here has him saying, spoke to a few folks who had calls with management and the feedback was atrocious. Full transparency, I sold my entire position, as he did with Tesla near the beginning of this year. Completely out of the stock, will never tweet on it again. Yeah, fat chance. I've lost faith and conviction. Learning lesson, don't get involved with bad management. In less than 2 months, the narrative went from Joe is our guy to labeling the whole company bad management. Price dictates sentiment. Then guys like Zero Alpha Game subjectively assign narratives to price action. The market doesn't care how hard you web scrape for info. Signs of cost control and frugality in a capital-intensive business that hasn't proved profitability absolutely yet is music to my ears. Can't express this enough. Joe is our guy, he had said back in September, which is not that long ago, right? So I guess this is the guy running that company. I don't know. Look at the infinite number of excuses to blame his own poor judgment in stock selection. Not once is any personal accountability taken. I think he also didn't think EOSE was a $5 stock. He got that right. It's $1.26. This is what intellectual fraud looks like. So this screenshot showing his reasons for selling that stock. Don't think management has visibility on orders. Don't think management can get non-dilutive financing in a tight credit market. Don't think management has the ability to forecast and model the business. Ouch. I think they view their retail base as at-the-money liquidity. Employee turnover is rampant. CCO leaving big red flag. So it's the executive departures argument we just saw Jim Chanos making years ago about Tesla. Why he was shorting it. I think the DOE loan closing could be at risk and require a significant amount of equity capital. No evidence they can get cost out of their system, I guess. Look at the infinite number of excuses to blame for his own poor judgment in stock selection. I just read you that. Zero Alpha Game takes all the credit for the work of copying and pasting words from one website onto X, then relentlessly blames management when the stock goes negative on the year. He was right about the stock being mispriced in September. It was too high by 70%. Just a couple of months ago, saying it was the most mispriced security he's seen in 10 years of investing, and because he does his homework. For what it's worth, when I reverse discounted cash flows, my model, keeping all drivers constant to achieve a $2.50 stock implies a minus 30% terminal growth rate. Pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered, and cry so hard about it. The same weasel who has posted about this 100 times since saying he'd never talk about it again 2 days ago. Crying so hard, he's telling other people they should be mad. Financing wasn't something that needed to be done right away, so let's just dilute everyone by 30%. Oh. If this doesn't make you mad, you shouldn't be investing, you know? You invest in a company that loses money, the risk that they're going to dilute you some is there, right? That's one of the risk factors you have to weigh before investing, right? In the case of Tesla, people who bought at IPO are very happy, even after all the dilution that's happened since, because the market cap of the company has increased by so much more than their ownership share has been diluted. And that's my video for today. So with that, I will run the Who's Hating Hard on Tesla Today sizzle, even though it's not Tesla we're talking about. But we are talking about a guy who was hating hard on Tesla immediately after, and hating hard on the Tesla community, saying all sorts of nasty things. Go see my previous video on this guy in my playlist. I'll drop this into the same playlist, and you can watch them all back to back if you want. And that's my video for today. Just catching you up on what ZeroSumGame33 Mark Henry is up to. And with that, I'll remind you to click the like button if you haven't already, if you liked this video. And to say thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon or on X or by joining my YouTube channel. You can subscribe to me for free on YouTube if that's where you're watching me. I'll leave a link right over there. A special thank you to my executive producers, Kathy Kitchler and Rebellionaire.com, and I'll see you in the next one.